So let me start off by this is my UFC 320 main card predictions. And to start off with the card, we start off with Abus Magomedov versus Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer is still a promising prospect in the UFC. He hasn't really cut his time in the UFC. He's not really faced some tough competition besides maybe Kelvin Gastelum. But Kelvin Gastelum's like basically at the end of his career. Abus Magomedov has wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and striking. So he's going to face his toughest competition just yet. This fight could go all 3 rounds. I could see this fight going either way. I could see Abus Magomedov taking this to the ground and submitting Joe Pyfer on the ground. His stand-up is underrated, but I think it would be a mistake to stand with Joe Pyfer because he does have power in his hands, and one shot could turn the lights off for Abus Magomedov. So if I'm going to lean towards somebody, Joe Pyfer does have wrestling, but he's mostly a striker. Striker versus the wrestler. And if I'm going to lean towards somebody, I'm going to lean towards... I want Joe Pyfer to win, but I'm going to lean towards Abus Magomedov to win this fight, either by a split decision or a submission inside 2 rounds. And then we go to the second fight on this card. We see the return of Josh Emmett, a legend of this sport, versus a young prospect in Youssef Zalal. Now, this is probably Youssef Zalal's toughest test, facing a gritty vet like Josh Emmett. He has a chin. He's very tough. He's all-around fighter. He has good wrestling. He has good submissions. He has good technique, good striking, good all-around. Youssef Zalal is younger, faster hands, faster reflexes, longer reach. He's definitely on the speed, like I said. But I wouldn't count out the vet. Don't ever count out the vet in Josh Emmett. He is on a 3 to 4 fight losing streak. But yeah, don't count him out. I wouldn't be surprised if Josh Emmett does pull this win out, but I'm going to go with Youssef Zalal by TKO or knockout within 2 rounds. And then we move on to the third fight on this card. Yuri Prochazka versus Khalil Rountree. Now, this is one of the most anticipating fights on this card and in the light heavyweight division. I've been looking forward for this fight for a while, and it's here now. Both got knockout power. They both have wrestling, but they don't use it. I feel like if one of them gets cracked hard, they might take this to the ground and try to wrestle. But they are light heavyweights, so they might get tired more. This fight could go either way. Yuri Prochazka is longer. They're both big. I believe Yuri's faster. But one shot by either of these guys and it's over. Yuri Prochazka doesn't check leg kicks. So if I'm Khalil Rountree, I'm using leg kicks and limiting Yuri Prochazka's movement, just like Alex Pereira did and Jan Blachowicz did, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody else minimized his movement. But I know for sure Alex Pereira was blasting leg kicks on Yuri. So he doesn't check leg kicks. So if I'm Khalil Rountree, I'm using leg kicks in this fight. But he could be ready for leg kicks. But as we saw in the second fight with Alex, he got knocked out. Didn't check leg kicks, and that led to him getting knocked out. So we'll see what Khalil Rountree does, what his game plan is. This fight is not leaving the first round. I'd be surprised if it does. I don't see this going to split or unanimous. Someone's getting knocked out in this fight. I like both guys. I could see this going either way, like I said. I'm going to lean towards more of Yuri Prochazka because he's really more unpredictable with his striking, with his strikes and his movement. So that's why I'm going to pick Yuri Prochazka in this fight. And then we move on to the co-main event for the bantamweight title between Murad Dvalishvili, the Machine, versus Corey the Sandman Hagan. And we all expect Murad to wrestle fuck Corey Sandhagen. That's what we all can expect. He's done every single one of his fights except Umar Nurmagomedov. It was a striking match, but when it did go to wrestling, that's what Murad likes to do best. He likes to wrestle. But Murad said he wants to stand up with Corey Sandhagen, which Corey Sandhagen isn't buying, and neither am I as a fan. We've seen it before. You said against Sean O'Malley, I'm going to stand up with you in the second fight, and what did you do? You stood up for a little bit and then shot for the legs for Dillai, because you know what the problems those guys like Sean O'Malley and Corey Sandhagen possess in their hands. So you might stand up, and he's going to shoot in within a minute or less. He's going to shoot in for legs. I'd be shocked. I think Corey Sandhagen would be shocked if this is a stand-up fight. I expect Murad to mix it up. It's mixed martial arts, like you said. But Corey Sandhagen, if he wants to win, he's got to keep his distance. I would bait Murad because he does bite on feints. I would get him to bite on feints and get him to bite because he does dive. So get that jumping knee or spinning back kick and knock him out. Pull a Derek Lewis, get him to bite, and then uppercut him, wobble him. It's easy. He's been hurt before in plenty of his fights. Don't rush the finish. But if Murad wins, he's going to win by submission, or it's going to be boring because he's going to wrestle fuck. And all you Murad fans are going to be annoying as hell because he's the most boring champion ever. And I expect if Murad wins, it's by decision or submission. But if Corey Sandhagen wins, I expect it to be by knockout, TKO, by flying knee, or TKO stoppage. And then we move on to the main event, a rematch. Magomed Ankalaev, the light heavyweight champion, versus Alex Poatan Pereira, trying to reclaim his belt. Now, this fight is one of the most anticipating rematches, in my opinion, of all time, because we saw what the first fight looked like. They're both filling each other out. They know what their best moves are. And I don't think Alex took Magomed Ankalaev's best shot. And Magomed Ankalaev took Alex's best leg kicks, I believe. They were starting to hurt, but I don't believe Magomed Ankalaev will use more wrestling. I think he will stick with striking. I think this fight could be a stand-up most of the time. He could try to mix in the wrestling to get him bite on some feints like he did in the first fight, get him bite on some things. But I expect somebody to get knocked out. But if I'm Alex Pereira, I'm using leg kicks because his leg kicks are very, very painful, and they compromise his opponent's striking, and they get finished. So, and Alex, his punches are very powerful, especially his left hook. It always catches his opponents. I don't think Alex hit Magomed Ankalaev with one hook. If it did, it grazed him or didn't hurt him that much. But we saw in that first fight that Magomed Ankalaev can hurt Alex when they do fight. So if they get into a striking war, if I'm Magomed Ankalaev, I'm getting him to bite, into baiting him to get into a striking war, and then get him into a striking war, then take him down. And then if he's hurt, finish him off TKO, or you can submit him. But I wouldn't be surprised. This is not going all 5 rounds like the first fight. I believe this fight ends within 2, 3 at the most, but under 2 rounds. Poatan could get his belt back, but I'm going with Magomed Ankalaev making a statement saying the first fight wasn't a fluke. He's going to make a statement saying, I'm here in the light heavyweight division. And you know who's going to be there, be watching? This is my prediction. The next challenger will be Carlos Ulberg. Magomed Ankalaev versus Carlos Ulberg for the light heavyweight championship. That's my prediction. After Magomed Ankalaev knocks out Alex Pereira in devastating fashion, his next opponent will be Carlos Ulberg for the light heavyweight title. And that will be probably one of his toughest, if not toughest, matchup in the light heavyweight division. So let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, and subscribe.